Oh, we are even starting class. You're welcome, ma'am.
Hello, students. How are you all?
Hello, ma.
Hello,
Fine,
ma.
how are you?
Great. How was your previous class today?
It was fine, ma. Thank you.
Okay. So, today we're gonna start our third block of this class of business communication. In last class, we learned about some letters and all. We have read some letters too. And from today onwards, we're gonna start third block of business communication. And the unit is 11th. Business reports we're gonna do. So without any delay, let's start the lesson. So business reports. Before directly moving to the reports, business reports, we first know what is report. We first need to know what is report. Anyone want to try to explain reports?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, I'm listening.
Reports, to my own understanding, means to give a spoken or written account of something that one has observed, heard, done, or investigated.
The investigator, you said. You're saying it in a context of investigation?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Let me come again, ma'am.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
said report, in my own understanding, it means to give a spoken or written account, a spoken or written account of something that one has observed, of something that I have heard or
Okay,
done.
okay, okay.
Is to give report, yeah.
Okay, the observation thing is pretty much right. The observation thing is pretty much right. So basically, what is it? It is a formal style of writing elaborated on a topic or any kind of topic, but now we have connected it to the business. Now we have connected it to the business. So in a business, so a business report is an informative document that contains important data such as facts, analysis, research findings, and statistics about a business with a goal to make this information accessible to the people within a company or outside a company. So that's what reports does. Okay, it provide information to the people of the company as well as the outsiders. And when we write reports in the context of business, it will automatically considered as business reports. Let's start with the introduction. Information plays a vital role in every organization. Every phase of organizational activity creates information which should be scrutinized and preserved. Various types of information need to be processed and presented in the form of reports. Thus, reports constitute a very important means of communication in a business organization. From here, you can read it down. A business report essentially is a communication that contains factual information. Always remember, if you don't have facts, if you're writing a report on the basis of assumptions, then you should not write it. If facts are presented here, then only one have to write a report on the basis of factual information in an organized form. In every organization, several thousands of reports are prepared every year depending on the requirements. So this was the brief about the business reports. Now, meaning and the definition of a report. So here is the definition of report. A report is a communication from someone who has some information to someone who wants to use that information. Who wants to use that information. If we are writing a report to the public, if we are writing a report to informing the normal public, then who are the users of that information? The public is the user of that information, and being an organization, we are the creator of that report. We are the creator of that report. So, who has some information to someone who wants to use that information. If we want to start, or if we want to start a new organization or start a new department in our already running organization, and we want to provide this information to the public so that public can purchase the shares of our department, then to provide this information we can use the news report. We can publish an article in the newspaper. It will be considered as news report. So that's how that works. A report may thus be defined as a written statement based on facts, events, and opinions, and usually express a summarized and interpretive value of this information. It may deal with past accomplishments, present condition, and Probable the future developments. If we talk about the past accomplishment, maybe we held a meeting. Okay, we held a meeting in an organization, and now we have to submit a report of that meeting. So that is considered as a past accomplishment. We are writing a report on a past meeting, the present condition, and the probable future developments. To summarize it, it may be stated that every report is based on facts, events, or opinions. It presents a snapshot of events at a particular point of time, usually in writing. The example of meeting is suitable at this point. Presents information in a summarized and systematic manner. Presents information in a summarized and systematic manner. In report, you do not need to write whatever a person said, to write the words of that person one by one. You just need it to summarize and put it in a systematic manner and write a report in a full-fledged thing. It provides a record for the future use. So these are the aspects of reports. Now we will learn about the importance of reports. The first one is conveyor of information, because with the help of report we can convey our information, our facts, our message from one person to another person. So reports serve as a conveyor of information throughout the organization. It is by means of report that the management is able to establish channel of communication through which ideas, opinions, suggestions, orders, and command follow in various direction. Now, a supervisor called a meeting. It's an example. Think like that. A supervisor called a meeting, and uh, it in this meeting we have 7 to 8 candidates, 7 to 8 employees working in this meeting, and of this meeting now supervisor have to report it to its superior. For that he or he will order someone to write a report of that meeting who was presented in the meeting, to submit it to the superior management. For that reason, so that he or she can convey the information, the data of that meeting, the code of that meeting, the suggestions and ideas which was inculcated in that meeting to the superior. So For that need, we need to, he or she need to write a report to the superiors about the meeting. Timely flow of information helps an organization to take decision promptly. Report also provide necessary information to the shareholders, investors, customers, creditors, and the general public as regards to the affair of an organization. Now, coming to the second point, help management to review and evaluate office operations. Report helps management to review and evaluate the office operations. Now we have submitted the report. Now we have submitted the report to the superior that we have discussed these points and this was the conclusion of our meeting. Now the superiors can think and review the meeting by reading our report and take actions and provide us some suggestions for that topic only. So that's how it works. So report helps management to review and evaluate all office operations continuously. They help in planning for the future operations in purposive way. Reports help in coordinating the activities of different departments as well. Moving to the next point, which is it is a tool for measuring performance. It is a tool for measuring performance. Let's read how. Reports are useful tool for measuring departmental performance. Departments need to file their reports timely, okay, monthly or half yearly or quarterly as per their organization terms and condition. They have to submit the reports of their department's performance. So reports are useful tool for measuring the department performance. The operational data from various departments are presented in a meaningful form. This helps management to assess the performance of each and every department. Reports help in making desirable changes. Reports help in making desirable changes. Changes in business environment pose a threat and a challenge to business firms. Reports are prepared to analyze the factor responsible for the changes, and with this factor we can it can help our business to adopt the changes or can take precautions for the negative changes. Report help in measuring the effectiveness of an organization. Reports are prepared to measure the effectiveness of departmental operation, employees, and management. This is also helpful in measuring the overall effectiveness of the organization. Now, the essentials of a good reports. Essential of a good report. First one is accuracy. Your report must be based on factual information and some data analysis and other things. So, information presented in reports should be accurate. Inaccurate information may often land the managers in trouble. Simplicity. A report should be simple. This would help in arriving at decision quickly and easily. In the fact, in the facts are presented in complex manner, the managers may not reach the correct decision. So it should be in simple language. It should be in simple language. Completeness. If you are writing a report, then it should be complete. It should be complete. The report should be complete in all respects. There should be no room for ambiguity. For example, in the above case, if report about any of the required information is missing, manager will not be able to take a final decision. Suppose you are giving a report, you are creating making a report on the production department, but you are not mentioning it how much units have been produced in a month or over a quarter or over half yearly, then it is an incomplete report. It is an incomplete report, so your report must be complete. Then only the manager can take a decision brevity, executives do not find sufficient time to read lengthy reports. Therefore, the reports should briefly reflect the essential points. The smaller the report is, the effective the result is. Appearance. The arrangement, organization, format, layout, and makeup of a report should be pleasing and, as far as possible, eye catching. As far as possible, eye catching. Readability reports must be easy to read. They must avoid technical language as far as possible. We should avoid the use of abbreviation in the reports. The writer must present the facts thorough, elegant, and grammatically correct English by using the elegant and grammatically correct English. Reliability. Reports should be reliable. They should be reliable and should not create erroneous impression in the minds of reader, either due to oversight or neglect. If you check the facts you are presenting in a report, then it will be reliable. It will be reliable. So it must be fact based. Economy. Report writing should not be a costly exercise. The most economical method of standard quality must be employed while conveying the matter. Timeliness. To be useful and purposive, reports should reach the readers well in time. Any delay in submission of reports make the preparation of reports a futile exercise. Suppose the report is needed in a week, and you are submitting the report after 2 to 3 weeks. So what's the purpose of that report at that time? So it should be on time. The report should be on time. Everything have a time. Logical content. The content of the report must be presented in a logical manner. The fact must be reported in an unbiased manner. Distinctive point must be a self-explanatory headings and subheadings. So, our essentials of a good report is clear to you guys. We will read some reports as well in this unit or in next unit. But tell me now, is the essentials of a good report clear to you guys? I'm asking, are these points clear so we can move further? Am I audible to you guys? Hello?
Yes, ma.
So why you guys are not responding? I'm asking, are these points clear or you want to discuss any of this point?
Yeah, we are going through, ma. That's why. But now
Okay.
it is clear.
Okay. Let's move to the next topic. Types of reports. Types of reports. So the first type of report is news reports. First type of report is news report. The example we took. So news reports are published in a newspaper to inform the readers about the different developments taking place in the world. News reports are published in newspaper to inform the readers about different developments taking place in the world. A typical news report has a following structure. It would have headline, the source, date, place, and the report, and here is the sample of a news report. COVID-19 patient recovery in 24 hours, highest single day recovery so far, and Press Trust of India. This is the source. Thursday, July 23, 2020. This is the date and this is the place, New Delhi. Now, the main body of the report. As many as 29,557 COVID-19 patients have recaptured in past 24 hours, the highest recorded in a day so far, taking the recovery rate to 63.18%, the Union Health Ministry said on Wednesday. So this is how a news reports look like. The source is mandatory in any news report. The source, here it is written, the Press Trust of India. Nothing in the newspaper. We do not publish everything. A source is always mentioned in newspaper. Now coming to the academic reports. An academic report is a written document incorporating the result of an experiment, study of survey, and to be presented as a part of the project. Now, for example, a dissertation or thesis written to fulfill the requirement of MPhil or PhD degree, respectively, are academic reports. An academic report is prepared in a specific format which may differ from different types of academic reports. The reports we create in an formal institution like institute for the institutes and schools, the colleges, those reports are known as academic reports, which involves study or survey. Those reports are known as academic reports. So it have a different way to write an academic report. The first one is the introduction, the second part is the literature review, the third is result, fourth is discussion, fifth is methods, and the sixth is conclusion. We will read in brief about every 6 points or usually included section of this academic report here. In the introduction part, the subject undertaken in the studies is briefly introduced along with its contemporary importance and the reason why it has been selected for the present studies. It will be mentioned in the introduction part. In the literature review, the research work done already on that topic is briefly described, citing the relevant references. In the context of earlier work, research gap is also identified, which forms the basis of the problem investigated under the present work. In the result section, result of the studies, whatever studies we have done, are present in an appropriate format. The data are usually present in tables and figures. In discussion part, the data are analyzed and discussed. Here, the importance of finding, particularly with reference to the earlier findings, are highlighted. Now, coming to the methods, the methodology followed for the studies is explained. In case of a survey, the sample size and the procedure of selecting respondents are also described. In the case of studies, the methodology could be the lecture method, demonstration method, and uh, project or playway method or another type of methods. But in case of survey, the sample size and the procedure of selecting the respondents are described. Like we have choose the random samples or selective samples, or which method we have choose to take samples. In the conclusion section, summary of the findings and their importance are given. In the conclusion, the summary of the findings and the importance are given. That's how an academic reports are being prepared. Now, the market survey reports. Market survey reports. It's directly connected to our business reports. Market survey reports constitute an important activity of a business organization. It is the survey and analysis of the market for a particular product or service before it is launched. The report includes feedback from the target audience, such as customer capabilities, buying potential, expectations, and requirements. Data are collected about the customer's preference, pricing trends, competing similar products, and etc. And then the new strategies are planned to address these requirements. Now you go to the some shops and they give you a form or a kind of survey form to you guys, and you fulfill that here on the basis of their performance or on the basis of their servings and etc thing. So for on these bases these data are collected and sent to the producer or the organization, and if the feedbacks come negative then they can improve it, and feedback is positive, then it will be used as a motivation for them, for the organization. That's how market surveys reports work. Now the importance of market survey reports, why it is important. Before moving to the importance, let's read this example first. Suppose a company wants to launch an automatic washing machine which consumes much water. Company will ask its marketing team to make a survey about the load shedding, water supply, and buying ability of the customers in that area. If any of three factors is missing, launching of the machine will be a failure. Launching of the machine will be a failure too. So, for the future purpose as well, we need market survey reports. Now we will learn the importance of market survey reports. First one is identifying the target market. Identifying the target market. Like we are producing a product, we are making a product, then how do we know that it will be suitable for this market or for that market? So for that we need to take a market survey. So it helps to identify the potential customer, their preference, buying capabilities, etc. Based on these findings, new products, services can be developed can be developed Developing a new partnership. Market survey helps in identifying the potential partners who can be aligned with to promote your product service and sharing the benefits thereof. Creating relevant promotional material. Creating relevant promotional material. Market survey helps in developing appropriate material such as flyers, handbills, websites, social media accounts for promoting your products. Sometimes it is the sample product we receive in the market, the small products we receive in the market. So it is how they create a promotional material. It also helps to locate the regions where advertisements posters should be put up to the push your products. Developing strategies of outmaneuver competitors. Market survey helps to identify satisfaction or dissatisfaction of the customers. Okay, it's not always the customers are satisfied. Customers are dissatisfied many times in our business ways. So the other competitors, thus it helps in planning modification, because dissatisfaction of the customers leads any organization to modification in their products. If it is necessary to win back your customer and attract the new one, we need to modify our products. Expanding business operations. Market surveys help to identify new opportunities in business and act accordingly. You are able to determine specific direction in which your current business activities can be extended. Or you can say that you have created a market survey, and you already had your targeted audience, you already had that. But while doing marketing survey, you found that there is an area or a region where your product will be loved, your product will be sold. So it will open or expand the business operation or provide a good opportunities for the producers or an organization to sell their products at that region. So it helps in expanding the business operations. Helpful in decision making. Market survey guides the business organization to make appropriate decisions at the correct moment. For example, if a new franchisee is to be given, market survey guides whom it should be given to, whether the present product needs improvement or it should be discontinued altogether, how to fix the price, etc. All these decisions are made on the basis of market surveys. All these decisions are based on the decision of market survey. Now, I am giving you a experience or an example of experience of KFC. You may have heard about KFC. I guess you all know about KFC. In India, when KFC started, so it is a purely non for non-vegetarian people. But in India, we have a large population who is vegetarian. So with the due time or with the passage of time, KFC starts failing in the market of India. In the market of India, because KFC didn't change their strategy, they didn't change their strategy to start their business in India. They didn't read the market strategy or market reason or the condition of India before commencing their business here, and they didn't adopted the vegetarianship here. So they faces losses in India and etc. After a while, they have introduced some vegetarian things in their restaurant. So that's how market surveys work. They did a market survey, then they know what's their mistake was, and they provide a good opportunity, and they provide a modification in their products, in their food, according to the taste of India. So that's how market surveys work in an organization or for a business. Now, taking a sample of market survey report. First one is title. Market survey report. First one is title. Prepared by the name or the person of the company who is preparing the market survey form. Okay. The summary. It outlines the purpose of the study and result of the survey in brief. It may also include recommendations made. Objectives. In this section, objectives of the survey are listed point-wise. It may also include reasons of the survey. Background information. This information forms the basis of present survey being undertaken. It includes the existing knowledge about that particular subject. The target group. In this section, demographic reason covered by the market survey is mentioned. For example, if the survey covers only the male in the age group of 21 to 40 years in the national capital region, this will be called the target group. Target group is selected keeping in the view product service to be launched. Methodology. This section clearly explains how the data was collected. That is, whether it was personal interview, through questionnaire, you can prepare a questionnaire for the survey as well, through telephonic conversation or online survey, or through the feedback of the people. Here, the statistical method used for the analyzing the data and accounting for the inaccuracy are also explained. Results. The data collected are presented preferably in the tabular form depending on the requirements. Now the discussion, the results are explained in the section. Appropriate figures and the bar diagrams may be used to make comparison between the different segments of the target group. The importance and reliability of the result vis-a-vis earlier surveys are also highlighted. Conclusion. After discussing on the result, we conclude that what strategy we will put on. The conclusion drawn on the basis of result and discussion are presented here. It is the fact that the gist of survey. Limitation. The limitation of the survey are described in this section. For example, if the survey was conducted in the NCR, okay, it may not work in other parts of the country, or if it covers only a particular age group or a gender or income group, it may not be valid for the whole society. If the survey is done for females, then it will particularly put it on females only, it will not be applied to males. If the survey is done on male, then the survey will be considered only for the males only, it won't be applied on females. If the survey is conducted for old age people, for all people, then it will be considered only for all people, not for young people. That's what are the limitations of a survey, because it will only for the targeted audience we have considered survey on. Okay. Appendices. This section includes the list of documents appended with the report. For example, it may include questionnaire distributed to the respondents, list of the organization institution covered in the studies. If we have given the questionnaire, the interviews, the questions of interviews, we can paste or tag in appendices. That's how we create a market survey. Now, after the market survey, let's move to the internal inquiry reports. In this era of vigilant media and strict scrutiny by the government, even a small adverse incident in a company may attract attention of the public. And if a prompt remedial action is not taken, it may jeopardize its reputation and goodwill created over the years. So many incidents, such as minor accident in the manufacturing unit, okay, some employee may got hurt, or there's a death of any labor in an organization, compromise with the quality of the product, indiscipline by an employee, or unnecessary harassment of an employee require internal inquiry. It requires internal inquiry at the level of the company itself. At the level of the company itself. For this thing, they need to create a report, and that report is known as internal inquiry report. Internal inquiry report. Suppose while producing some goods and other things, a labor got with an met with an accident, and he died there. He died there. Then for this purpose, it must be reported. It must be reported to the higher authorities, board of directors, or the CEO of the company. For this thing, they need to prepare a report, and it will be known as internal inquiry report. Internal inquiry report. For such many inquiries, internal committees are already in place which follow requisite procedure and the rules of internal inquiry. A good internal inquiry report should satisfy three C's, and the three C's are clear, complete, and concise. The report you are preparing must be clear, the language you are using must be clear or easy. It should be understandable. There should be no ambiguity, there should be coherence and logic. Completeness, the report you are preparing have all the facts and information related to that topic. It should be complete. Concise, it should be direct and concise, and avoid to use the unnecessary verbosity. So it should be concise. Here, concise means the brevity. It should be brief. Now, there are three main parts of the internal inquiry reports. The first one is the beginning, the middle, and the end. Going with the beginning, it have the executive summary. It have the executive summary. A brief description of the complaint or incident is given. It is followed by the description of the policy rules in vogue and with the complaint. Then scope of the inquiry is explained. Finally, the ultimate conclusion is given. Complaint summary, a brief summary of the complaint or incident is given. Either it can be executive summary, or it can be complaint summary, or it can be an inquiry summary. The procedure of the inquiry is briefly explained. Conclusion or recommendation. The conclusion of the inquiry and recommendation made are outlined. Mates are outlined. Now the middle part of the inquiry report. The factual background. The complaint made or the incident occurred is described in appropriate details. Basically, this is the main body of the report. Okay, main body of the report. Here, it will be written in a detailed form. Everything that happened will be written in a detailed form. Scope of inquiry. The focus of inquiry or mandate given is described here. The relevant rules, if any, under which the inquiry is to be completed and referred here. It can be evidence or witness. Okay, the evidence name should be mentioned here. The witness examined, their statement must be recorded here. Now, analysis of the evidence. The evidence which we have collected about any incident, then it must be analyzed here. It must be written here and described in the middle part of any inquiry report. The end. The end of the following section is findings. The factual findings are explained. Conclusions and recommendations. Here, the conclusion Am I audible now? Please tell me. Hello?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me present you the book. Now, let's start again. Yes. Where were we? The signature and the date. At the end of the report, we have signature and date mentioned as well. It is signed by the appropriate authority and the date is mentioned. Annexure. List of documents, recorded statement of the witness, photographs of the location attached is given. The videography, and if there is a videography, then a pen drive or whatever the instrument we need to share to the authorities will be attached to the report. So while writing an internal inquiry report, one should try to follow the following points. One should try to follow the following points. Like, try to be impartial. We should not favor anyone. Try to be professional. Use impartial neutral verbs. Use exactly descriptive verbs. Avoid unnecessary adjectives. Avoid unnecessary information. Be consistent in tense. So these are the things we need to take care while writing a report. It is a sample outline. You can see it's a sample outline of an internal inquiry report. That's how internal inquiry report looks like. Now moving further. This unit is completed here. Okay. Now we are moving to the next unit, which is process of writing a report. Process of writing a report. Now, the introduction. It is necessary for writer to remember the purpose of the report, the time frame within which the report is to be submitted, and the status of the receiver in an organization for whom the report is intended. So these are the things a writer needed to get in their mind, to consider in their mind while writing a report. Like, who the user of that report would be. Okay, what was the incident we are writing a report about, all these things. So before going to the report writing section, we have some general guidelines for preparing reports. The first one is accuracy. As we discussed earlier, the accuracy must be there in while writing a report. The information you are sharing must be fact based. Okay, you need to check the facts 2 or 3 times before writing a report. So the report you are writing, the information on which the report you are writing must be accurate and reliable. Communication, use of easy language. As already stated, every report is meant for communicating information to person or group of person. If a report is not communicated to the person for whom it is intended, it will not serve the purpose. It will not serve the purpose. Since the reports are considered vehicle of information, people at various level in an organization may require them in order to take decisions or to perform the work assigned to them. So it follows as a communication. It should be short but clear. The title should be short but clear. The title of a report should be indicative of the content of the report. It should be attractive too. Therefore, one should select a short and clear title. Short and clear title. The language. The language used in the report should be understandable to the people for whom it is intended. Simple language should be used as far as possible, and the formal language. Stick to the formal language. Routine nature. Reports, particularly routine reports, should be prepared in a routine manner. In It would facilitate the readers to understand the nature of the report without looking into the detailed content. In this context, formal reports are useful. Paragraphs. We should write the reports in paragraphs only. It is desirable to divide the report into the number of paragraphs. Each para should be devoted to a particular aspect. So, a report of the general body meeting prepared by the secretary may have several paragraphs, each of them related to different resolution and decision taken. Concise and brevity. Recommendation. If the recommendations are to be made, they should be given at the end of the report under the heading of suggestions or recommendation. If any topic we are writing a report on requires some suggestions or recommendation, then we need to write it in report, but at the end of the report, okay, and under the heading of suggestions and recommendation. Signature and date. The person who is writing the report must sign his signature and must sign the report and put a date below its signature. Now here is the procedure of report writing. The first point is determine the purpose of the report. The first point is determine the purpose of report. Let us discuss in detail. It is worth noting that every report must serve the purpose for which it is prepared, whether it is supply of information or analysis or interpretation of the data for decision making or problem. So we need to determine the purpose of the report first. Identify the receiver or the user who's gonna receive our report, who is the reader of our report. We need to identify that in the second point. So before writing the report, one should also identify the users of the report in terms of their number, expertise, interest, hierarchical position. If we are writing a report to the board of directors, then we should know that what's their hierarchical position is. Okay. Expertise. The reports writer should know to what extent user of the reports are conversant with the main subject of the report and whether they are familiar with the technical aspect of the subject or not. Interest. He should have an understanding of user's interest. If you know the receiver of the report, then you must know the interest of the user, the interest of the user, how he will treat a report or what kind of report will attract the user. Hierarchical position. User of reports may be either the top management or the departmental heads or supervisor. The content of a report, its style of presentation and details to be included in it should be decided according to the position or rank of the user in the organization. So the presentation of the report will change as per the hierarchical position. If it is a top management, the report will be clearly mentioned or will be revised 4 to 5 times before sending a report to the top management. If it is departmental heads or supervisor, so the format writing a report to them will be different. Collect the necessary data. Once the purpose of the report is clearly understood, the users are identified, attention should be paid to the collecting the data from various sources. Now, after deciding the users and the purpose of the report, we need to collect the data. We are creating a report, we are making a report, writing a report. So, for that thing, we need the data of the topic we are writing a report on. So, on the third point, in the third point, we need to collect all the necessary data or information. We need to write that report, particular report. Analyze and classify the data. Now, in the third part, we have collected the data. Now, we will analyze it. Mass of data collected from various sources may not be much use unless the same are classified and analyzed in the light and purpose already set. Suppose we are writing a report on accounting thing, okay, on the financial accounting, and we have collected the data in the form of tables, pie charts of the organization financial position. Now we need to analyze that pie charts and table data, or the other stuff, or the charts we have collected in the data form. We need to analyze this before writing a report on that data. Outline the report. After classifying the data, one should prepare an outline of the report. In fact, an organization of the report determine how the report is received. A long report may have many parts, such as introduction, body of the report, the conclusion, and recommendation. Now we have three options to present a report. The first one is the basic. First, we put introduction, second we put body of the report, and the third is conclusion. But the second and third option is a little different. In the second option, we put introduction, then the conclusion, and later at the last we put body of the report. And option 3, in option 3 we first put the conclusion of the report, and the second point is the introduction, and the third point is the body of the report. Now, one may adopt the first option when the user is not likely to understand the conclusion until he reads the rest of the report. For those people, we need to opt the first option of writing a report. This option is also suitable when the conclusions are disagreeable from the user's point of view, or the conclusions are contrary to the user's point. Or for the normal public, we use first option too. Now coming to the option number second, this option or the option number third. It may be adopted under any of the following four situations. When the reader when the reader needs the conclusion first, if the reader needs the conclusion first, then we can go with option number 3. If the reader or receiver has enough background to understand the conclusion without reading the main body part of the report, then as well we can opt this option number 2 and 3 of report writing. And the report may be easier to read as the conclusion may provide a framework for the interpretation of the information in the body. Then as well we can opt the option number 2 and 3. Now, at last, after analyzing and opting the method, we finally prepare the report. We finally prepare the report. Once the outline of the report is ready, one should start writing the report. With proper presentation of the reported matter enhances the effectiveness of the report. One should use common set of symbols that may other writers use. For presenting the information in the body, one may use tables, graphs, diagrams, and etc. things. So we have the following suggestions that may be useful to consider while preparing the report. Let's read this. Consider the suitability of the language to be used. Avoid unfamiliar words as much as possible. Avoid offensive language which may be deceitful for the readers. Adopt a positive approach whenever possible. Adopt a positive approach whenever possible. Make sure that each sentence and paragraphs contain only one central idea. One central idea. Avoid unnecessary repetition. Avoid unnecessary repetition. Use active voice as much as possible. However, passive voice may be used whenever it is necessary to emphasize any idea. But for the instant, you should use active voice only. Formal business reports demand on an impersonal style of presentation, so better not use the U tone in such cases. Not use the U tone. At last, after writing the report, we should present the report to its user. Every report, once prepared, must be presented to the appropriate authority for consideration and the decision making. If we can send it to the user or not. If the authority pass the report, then only we can send the report to the others, to its destined user. Now, stages in report writing. Stages in report writing. So the first step is prepare material, like collecting the information, facts, and illustration. Check to see that have you have all the information needed. Decide on the purpose of the report, who will read it, why does he want it, what does he require, how we will use it. So first step is to prepare the material. Second is plan the report, like classify the material, make an outline, make a list of major and minor subject headings. And the third step is writing a report, writing the actual report. State the subject purpose and plan the introduction of the report. Describe the equipment, procedures, and the result in the body of the report. Summarize and the conclusion, recommendation, and other parts of the report. And the step 4 is criticize report. Examine the report as a whole, the plan and the promotion of the parts. After writing the complete report, you need to reread it. Okay. Check the agreement of the title, the table of the content. So you need to do a proofreading before sending it to the users. To table the contents, the introduction of the abstract, check the proportion of the paragraphs and sentences, examine the details of textual transition from topic to topic, part to part, sentence to sentence, structure and wording. So these are the steps we should take care while writing a report. Now, on the basis of length, we classify reports in two things, okay, in two parts. First is long and second is short reports. First is long reports and second is short reports. Coming to the long reports. Long reports have three parts, okay, in it. The first one is preliminary part, second one is text part, and third one is supplementary part. Preliminary part include all this stuff in the long report. Text part include this stuff, introduction, body and conclusion. And supplementary parts include the end notes, appendices, bibliography, index, and etc. things. Now we will read one by one about these subtitles. The preliminary part, it is title fly. Like title fly contains only the report title. The title of the report is written in the title fly. Title page. The title page is compulsory for all business reports. For all business reports, title page is compulsory. This should include the title of the report, the name and designation of the author who is writing the report. Their name should be mentioned in the title page, date of the submission, and the name and the title of the person for whom it is to be prepared. So basically, the full information about the writer and the receiver is mentioned here along with the title of the report in title page. Authorization document. A copy of the letter issued by the component person authorizing the report to be made should be including the preliminary part. Table of content. Table of content, normally called the contents, it is a list of various division chapters of the report, such as the first and second level headings, and the text list of figures, appendices, bibliography. So it will consider as a table of content. List of table, it is presented separately after the table of content. The list of table includes the table number, table title, the page number where the table is located. List of figures. List of figure follows the list of table in report. The format of the list of figures is the same as the list of table, and etc. In the text part, in the text part, the part of the report which appears between the preliminary part and the supplementary part is known as the text part. It considers the introduction of the report, body of the report, and the conclusion of the report. It is the main body. Text is the main body of any report. So, in introduction, we just introduce our topic or the background of the report. In body, we tell the about the we tell or write every detail of that information of the report. In conclusion, we conclude or summarize the report or the topic we are writing a report on. In supplementary part, in supplementary parts, we have and notes. We have and notes. Using footnotes is very common practice. Footnotes appear the foot of a page. Sometimes footnotes are avoided and they are presented at the end, immediately after the text. When notes are given on a separate page immediately, the following text they are called endnotes. When the footnotes are given on a separate page immediately following the text, they are called endnotes. Appendices and annexures, all the details we attach with the report, okay, all the documents we attach with the reports will be mentioned here. Sometimes details of any matter may be useful to the report when presented in the text, but may detract the attention of the reader when presented in text. Such material is presented at the end in the form of appendices and annexure. Indeed, any material relevant to the text may be presented in supplementary part as appendix and annexures. Okay, we can provide some tables or graphs or attach some cautionary memos, etc. in appendices and annexures. Bibliography. This is also known as reference. While writing the report, we may have referred many people, we may have referred sites, we may have referred the financial documents. So we will write about that in the bibliography. Index. This is an alphabetical list of key topics of terms indicated the pages number where the topic of the term occurs. The index where necessary is also presented in the alphabetical order in the supplementary part. That's all about the long reports. Now we are moving to the short reports. We have learned that how a organization write long reports for them. Now we will read the short reports. While discharging responsibility as an office secretary, one has to write several short reports also. Normally, the format of a long report is different from the short report. Long report consists of a number of parts and written with a great detail than short reports. Depending upon the purpose, context, and the intended receivers, short reports are prepared in different forms. We prepare short reports in different forms, and these forms are memorandum form, minutes form, and letter form. We will see the examples of memorandum time or memorandum minutes or letter form as well. Okay, now memorandum is the most widely used form of the written communication. Within an organization, the memorandum form is normally adopted for the communication between the member of the same organization. If we want to convey our message from some department or from board of directors to the superiors or to the managers, or from supervisors to the board of directors, we need to prepare some memorandum. Okay, for this purpose we need to prepare a report. It can be used conveniently for interdepartmental, interbranch communication, or prepared to be filled as record and references. So the example of memorandum report is, we will read this illustration number second. This is the example of memorandum form of report. In the form of memorandum which is submitted by the purchase officer to the managing director. The report is regarding the standardization of office furniture and stationery. Let's read the report in detail. The name of the company, Hyderabad Electrical Company Limited. The place, Hyderabad. To Rathi Ram Bhardwaj, Managing Director. We are presenting the report to Rathiram Bhardwaj, Managing Director. It's the destination written here. It's the position of the person we are writing a report to written here, Managing Director. From Madhu Chatterjee, the purchase officer. The person who is writing the report, the position of that person is written here, purchase officer, and the name is Madhu Chatterjee. Date January 1st, 2021, and the subject standardization of office furniture and stationery. Standardization of office furniture and stationery. Now the purchase officer is writing a report to the managing director. Let's read what's in the report. Furniture is required in every office. It involves one-time investment in asset for a long period. The use of stationery also involves a huge amount of expenditure of a recurring nature. Standardization of office furniture and stationery is important. Furniture or stationery items should be identical in terms of quality, size, or description. Standards must be laid down for almost every type of furniture and stationery. The process of standardization involves laying down of the exact size, quality, dimensions, and their specification in respect of each items of supply. You see how formal it is written, how formally every word is written or presented in the report. Now read further. The criteria for the selection of various items of furniture and stationery should be clearly laid down. Due care should be taken before shifting from one brand of supply to another. If an item is satisfactory, no purpose is served by changing the brand of the item. However, in some cases, a new product may be superior or better in quality. Hence, samples of these products should be tested from time to time under similar conditions. The service and the efficiency claimed for the items should be analyzed for, and if the price is higher, an attempt should be made to determine whether the difference in the price is justified. This would give one an idea as to whether a particular brand item should be replaced or continued. Identical furniture should be used and numbered. So proper action may please be taken to introduce standard furniture and stationery items for the office use. Madhu Chatterjee, the signature or the name of that person who have written the report. So that's how memorandum form of report looks like. You can take a screenshot of it for the brief or reading after the class. I guess everyone have took this screenshot. Now I am scrolling to the next illustration. Now coming to the minutes form. Coming to the minutes form. So whenever a meeting is held, we sometimes we write a report after the meeting. We write a report about that meeting after the meeting. So that's known as minute form. Known as minute form. Reports of committees, subcommittees are generally submitted in minutes form. Whenever a committee or some subcommittee is appointed, Whenever a committee or subcommittee is appointed by an organization, it is expected to submit a report on its activities or findings on the subject referred to it. When the committee meeting is held, proceedings are recorded in the form of minutes. Focus on this point. Wait, when the committee meeting is held, proceedings are recorded in the form of minutes and communicated to all the members of that committee as well as other interested person in an organization. Depending upon the objective and subject matter, sometimes committees submit a long reports. Sometimes committee submit a long reports. However, proceedings of meeting recorded in the form of minutes are short reports. Recorded in the form of minutes are short reports. Organizations follow certain standardized formats for preparing minutes. Let's see how a minutes form look like. Okay, let's take an example of this too. Here, start from here. Illustration number 4. Bharat Communication Limited is a company producing different types of telephone equipments. There is 5 member standing committee, permanent committee comprising marketing manager, production manager, finance manager, and stores manager under the chairmanship of managing director. The committee is to periodically review the sales of each individual product and suggest remedial measure to achieve the target sales. Minutes of the fifth meeting is presented below. You can read it from here. Minutes of the fifth meeting of the sales review committee is presented. Committee held on 1st April 2020 at 2:30 p.m. in the committee room. First, the first person is Mr. Satish Agarwal, the managing director or the chairman of that committee. Okay, Mr. Anil Madan, marketing manager, the member of that committee. Mr. Mr. Narayan Prasad, production manager or the member of that committee. Mr. Sippy, stores manager or the member of that committee. Wait a minute. Yes. Now, Miss Madhu Srivastav could not attend the meeting due to illness. The committee studied the sale trend of product 3 in domestic as well as international market. It is found that sales of the product have been declining during the last 6 months. The following important reasons have been identified for declining sales of the product. Due to competition, other firms are selling goods at cheaper prices compared to our products. Okay, while there were 5 firms producing same products earlier, there are at present more than 10 firms in the field. There are present more than 10 firms in the field. Our advertising expenditure is far less compared to the competitive firm. Further, the advertising strategies used by the company are not effective. We have only 4 marketing zone in the entire country because of limited numbers of zones. The company is not in a position to distribute the products throughout the country, and the product is not available at all places. Hence, there is a need to increase the number of zones, sales depots for effective distribution throughout the country. And the fourth point is regarding the market of a product is low quality compared to the competitor's product. Further, these are still some restriction there are still some restrictions on export of electronical or electrical goods. Due to these reasons, export sales have not shown any progress. So this is how uh, reports look like, a minute form of reports look like. If you want to take screenshot of this too, then you can take it from here. I'm giving you time, take screenshot for future reference. And the half report is here. So that's how everything is mentioned in any report. I guess you guys have taken screenshot of it. Now moving to the letter form. Letter form. As stated earlier, short reports in the form of memorandum and minutes are intended for internal communication of the organization. Many short reports which are intended for internal communication are presented in letter form. Many short reports which are intended for external communication are presented in letter forms. You guys have read the letters before this unit in the previous blog. So we write reports in letter forms as well for the external communication. A letter report is similar to the letter in appearance. It includes almost all the features of a letter, as senders, addresses, date, inside address, salutation, body, signature, etc. Sometimes a subject line is inserted between the greetings and the body of the letter reports. So normally the letter report is typed on the company letterhead. Letter report is typed on the company's letterhead. This point is to be noted. The letter report is typed on the company's letterhead. Taking the illustration number 5, let's read letter reports or letter form of short report. Sri Automatic Company Dealers Association, N33 Saket, New Delhi, and the address, pin code. This is the address, this is the name of sender. Here is date, 31st 3 2020. To the managing directors, Sri Automobile Company Limited, Madras 21, to the different branch. Okay, to the from Delhi branch to the Madras branch of the same organization. This letter is being written. Dear sir, the salutation part. Now the main part of the body. A meeting of the dealers of your company was held on 14th March 2020 at the office of the association in New Delhi. We discussed different matters relating to products and sales of the automobiles manufactured by Shri Automobile Company. The following suggestions have emerged for deliberation at the meeting. It is necessary to ensure that the time gap between order booking and the delivery is minimized and the vehicle reach the dealers immediately after the production. The second point is dealers' margin should be increased from 12% to the 15%. Booking of vehicles by customer should be scrutinized by the dealers. The company should bear the entire advertising expenditure. The dealer must be given discretion to advertise locally in their respective areas. Dealers have agreed to send reports of the company on weekly sales and stock levels. So these are the points discussed here for the Madras branch of the same association or same organization. and the management of the company is required to intimate necessary steps on this on the points stated above and communicate the decision of the dealers as early as possible. Thanking you, yours faithfully, Naveen Bhatia, president of that organization. So this is the example of letter form of short report. You can take screenshot of this too. I guess all the forms are clear to you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with this latter form of short report, this unit also completed. Now we will move to the next unit. Tracy writing. Tracy writing. Anyone have any idea what is Tracy is or Tracy writing? I guess no one have an idea. So let's start. Basically, Pressy is whenever we write a report, at the end we put a summarizing part. Okay, we put a conclusion part or summarizing part. In this summarizing part, we mention all the important points we have discussed in the main body of the report. We put it in the Pressy part. That is what a Pressy is. The summarization of the report in 5 to 10 points of the whole report in 5 to 10 points is known as Pressy. Let's read it in detail. It is an important secretarial function, pressy writing, which involves an exercise in comprehension and condensation of articles, speech, or correspondence. Thus, pressy writing means summarizing. In order to make a summary of article, a speech of a story, one has to read it carefully and grasp its meaning. Passive writing forces one to concentrate on the material which is to be summarized. The primary object of passive writing is to present the facts and the information, to spend time reading unnecessary details. To spend time reading unnecessary details. So, what is a précis? Précis is a French word derived from the Latin word precisus, past participle procedure, which means to cut off, to be brief, and is connected with the English word précis. A précis is a summary or the gist of the main idea of written matter. Or the gist of the main idea of written matter. Thus, précis writing means summarizing. It is an exercise in concentration, comprehension, and condensation in order to make a summary of an article, a speech, or a story. One has to read it carefully and grasp its meaning first. Then only we can write a summarizing form of that report or article or speech. The primary object of précis writing is to present the fact and information, to spend time reading unnecessary details. The necessity of speedily reading documents mainly arise in business firms and government department besides other fields of activities. Lawyers, journalists, students, and secretaries of business executive need to apply the art of précis writing regularly in their day-to-day activities. So that's what is précis writing is. Characteristics of a good précis. A good précis is not merely a list of main idea of the passage. The ideas are to be organized and expressed in a logical sequence so that the précis reads like an original piece of composition. A good précis should contain all the essential ideas in the original passages. omitting non-essential detail, examples, etc. The language of précis should be clear, brief, and précis, maintaining at the same time and style and spirit of the original report or the original article. A précis should be written in indirect speech. It should be written in indirect speech. A good précis should, as far as possible, be in writer's own words. It should be written in writer's own words. It should not exceed or fall short of the length prescribed by too large a margin. Usually, the limit set for the précis is one third in the length of the original, one third of the length of the article originally written, or one third of the length of the report or a long report. Now, the method of writing précis. First of all, one should read the passage 2 or 3 times carefully to understand clearly its general theme. Okay, before writing a précis, we need to reread the article, the speech, the report we have created 2 to 3 times. In short, the comprehension of the passage is the first step in précis writing. The second step is it is necessary to write down the main point of the passage by picking out the essential ideas and leaving out the unimportant details. If you found some details are unimportant, then you can leave those details. But if you are finding the details are essential and important for the article or speech, then you should consider it and pick them out or write it down somewhere else. At this stage, compression or condensation of the passage take place. And the next step, writing down a preliminary or a rough draft, keeping in mind the length of the précis. You need to write down a rough draft of précis, keeping in mind the length of the précis. If it is necessary to provide a title to the summary, a short title may be given which will express the idea in the passage, or it will create or make the précis attractive. While making the final draft, one should make sure that all the main points are included in the précis. One should also check whether the précis reads well and is within the length prescribed. Okay, give it a suitable heading as well. Problems in writing a précis. Accuracy. The first problem in writing a précis is to get the facts straight. One should not make any statement without the support of the facts. Using own words. The second problem in the difficulty using own word in the précis to convey ideas given in the original purpose, because we have stated earlier that we should use only formal language, but here we are using our own words, so it is a difficult to write a précis in appropriate words using an appropriate words. Selecting details. The third problem is deciding on the details to be included in the précis. One should try to pick out only those details that are important. That are important. Two people may go to a restaurant. It is an example I'm reading from here. Two people may go to a restaurant and order many dishes and engage in lengthy conversation. In a précis covering the above sentence, you do not need to mention each item of food or drink they have bought. If one of the character gets drunk, however, it may be noted that the observation made by the person were under the influence of the liquor. Avoiding conclusions. We should avoid writing the conclusion in précis. Since a précis is a factual summary or passage, one should avoid drawing conclusion based on one's own interpretations of the facts. Avoiding short sentences. We should not write the short sentences or the sentences with 4 to 5 words including in it. So these are some problems which occurs in writing Pressy. Now we will read some illustrations about Pressy. Okay. This is the big illustration. We are not reading this illustration, but you can see. Just see the format here. This is an illustration of Pressy writing. It is a passage. Okay, it is basically a speech or article. It is written here. So it is written till here, and to create the Pressy, we have mentioned the main points. Okay, working classes enjoy better living condition in the present century. In earlier civilization, there was a big gap between the condition of kings and etc. The effect of industrial revolution. By reading these points, we can tell that there is a talking about industrial revolutions in the paragraph or in the article. A starting of trade unions is discussed here. Now, after writing these main points from the article, we need to create the first draft. We need to create a first draft, and that is the first draft of Pressy. That is the first draft of Pressy, and it considered 148 words in the passage above. So, in the final draft, we only included 107 words. We all we brave it or precise it in the final draft. That's how Pressy work. So this is the Pressy. Now we will read an illustration. Illustration number second. This passage is on advertising. Let us read the passage. The chief object of the repetitive form of advertisement is to help people to remember the product. The general principle is similar to that followed by Bajaj Automotives Limited. You just can't beat a Bajaj. The repetition of a phrase, the inclusion of a trade name or a trademark in every advertisement is intended to impress upon the mind of the reader, listener, that name or phrase or picture. The response sought by the advertiser is achieved when the customer enters a shop for, say, toothpaste. To the shopkeeper's question, any particular brand, please? The customer gives the reply that is in his mind, not necessarily because he has arrived at a decision by any process of reasoning, nor because some strong feeling has been aroused for some particular brand, but simply because he has repeatedly seen the name and it is associated in his mind with the idea of a good toothpaste. Some trade names become so common that they displace the true name of the commodity itself, such as Vaseline, the well known trade name as petroleum jelly. The well-named trade name is petroleum jelly. And one more example I would like to give here is I'm adding an example. The Favicol. Favicol is a brand. Favicol is a brand name, but it is a adhesive. It is an adhesive, but everyone knows it as a Favicol. Favicol is resembling with the pasting things, but it is an adhesive. The product or trade name is adhesive. And advertisement which have relied on repetition have in the past proved very powerful, but with the increased variety of proprietary articles and products intended for the same purpose, this kind of advertising is losing some of its value because of the confusion of the names that arises in customer's mind when he wishes to buy, say, cigarettes, tobacco, soaps, chocolates, tea, and other goods which are widely used. So the report is in 248 words. The article or the report is in 248 words. Now prepare a brief outline, the main points we have done in the earlier exercise. Now we will take some main points from this paragraph. Okay. The simplest form of advertising is repetition. It helps to remember. The simplest form of advertising is repetition. It helps to remember. It is written here. Okay, it is written here, and we have put it the same line in our own language. A phrase or trade name, a phrase or trade name or trademark is used repeatedly to make an impression. Used repeatedly to make an impression. Customer asks for product name which is impressed on his or her mind. Repetition advertising is become less effective now. Repetition advertising is becoming less effective now. It is written in the conclusion part. So these are the main points. These are the main points we have pointed out from that article. Now we will write our preface. Now we will write our preface. The use of repetition is the simplest form of advertising. In advertisement, repeated use of particular phrase or trademark aims to make such an impression on the customer that he will tend to buy that product. Indeed, some trade names, Vaseline for example, have become well known that they are used instead of the name of the real name of the product. Owing to the large number of consumers, article, and the products now in the market, advertising by repetition is less effective than it was in the past. And this précis is written in 87 words, and the whole article is written is 248 words. So, for the people, for the users, it is difficult to read or go through the actual article or the report. They just like to read. They just like to read the précis. They just read the précis and get the overview what it is about, what the article is about. And the title of that article is Advertising by Repetition. So that's how a précis looks like. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. And I think I'll go through them so that I get more information about them.
You want to read one more article or one more example of on précis?
Yeah, I think you should read one for me again, madam.
Okay. Because the unit is completed here only. So we have time. We can read one more example of précis. Which example would you like to do? Effect of COVID-19 on tourism. Let's read this. Effect of COVID-19 on tourism. I'm writing the preface in about 100 words and also suggested title. This passage is on vaccination in Delhi, adapted from the report in Hindustan Time, 8th March 2021. Let's read this passage. Over 3 lakh beneficiaries have received COVID-19 vaccine till date in Delhi. Since the start of inculcation, the drive a month with more than 27,000 people receiving shots on Monday, according to the official data. One of these more than 1.35 lakh are healthcare workers and over 1.71 lakh frontline workers as per the data. On Monday, 27,219 beneficiaries received shots across 306 centers, including 5,459 people who got their second dose as the inoculation drive picked up pace, officially said. The overall turnout was about 88%. 8 minor cases of AEFI adverse events of following immunization were reported, they added. Till date, 135,034 healthcare workers have been vaccinated. A total of 171,079 frontline workers have also received jabs as per the data shared by the officials. Frontline workers, including police personnel, civil defense staff, sanitations, worker among others. The vaccination drive started on January 16 has picked up the pace in the last 1 week. Under the nationwide mega vaccination drive launched on January 16, a total of 53% healthcare workers against the target of 8,117 were administered the shots of 81 centers across the city on the day 1. As per the doctors, the second dose is given to the beneficiary after a gap of 28 days. On February 13, a total of 13,768 beneficiaries received vaccine shot and second doses were administered to healthcare workers who had received the first jab 28 days ago. On the second schedule, the day after rollout of the exercise on January 16, the figures had stood at 3,598, which is 44% of the target. The sharp fall had come after one serve and 50 minor adverse effect cases were reported. On the opening day of vaccination drive, the count on third schedule day was relatively much higher at 4,936, which is 48%. So this is the paragraph. Now we will pick some important points from this paragraph. Over 3 lakh beneficiaries have received COVID-19 vaccine till date in Delhi. Of these, more than 1.35 lakh are healthcare workers. Out of this, 1.35 lakh are healthcare workers and over 1.71 lakh frontline workers. The vaccination drive started on January 16 has picked up pace in the last 1 week. Now we will write is Presi. The vaccination drive in Delhi started on January 16. A total of 4,319 53% healthcare workers against a target of 8,117 were administered the shot at 81 centers across the city on the day 1. Till date, 1,35,034 healthcare workers have been vaccinated. A total of 1,71,079 frontline workers have also received jabs as per the data shared by the officials. Frontline workers include police personnel, civil defense, staff sanitation working among others. As per doctors, the second dose is given to the beneficiary after an age gap of 28 days. On February 13, a total of 13,768 beneficiaries received vaccine shots and second dose were administered to the healthcare workers who had received the first jab 28 days ago. Over 3 lakh beneficiaries have received COVID-19 vaccine till date in Delhi since the start of the inoculation drive a month ago, with more than 27,000 people receiving shots on Monday, according to the official data, which is and this précis is written in 120 words under 120 words, and its title can be given as vaccination drive in Delhi. So, in your assessment, they can give you one paragraph and ask you to write a précis about it, out of it. I guess now it is clear. We have two examples of précis. This unit is completed as well. So this block is. This unit and block both are completed. Now, please turn on your camera so I can take attendance. And if you have any query or doubt related to this session, then you can ask me. Please turn on your camera.
Just
all
a
at
minute,
once.
ma'am.
Okay, everyone, I'm waiting for you, Alita. Okay, okay, it's done. Now, if you guys have any doubt, we can discuss it here. We have got some time. Have you guys practiced the journal in financial accounting or not yet?
But the journal is okay. Personally, I went through. I'm not having any issues with the journal. Just trying to get to understand
Your
the
voice is
ledger.
breaking. It would be better if you write it in chat section. Your voice is breaking. It would be better if you write it in chat section. I'm asking that if you are practicing the financial accounting or not.
Okay, as for me, I've practiced the journal and the ledger, but what is remaining is the trial balance in the final.
Okay, okay, okay. So do practice of trial balance as well. You guys have the book, na? You guys have book? You guys have downloaded the book or not yet?
Me, I have.
Okay. So practice the trial balance from the book too. It will help.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, ma. Of course, I'm trying to download.
Your
Saying
voice
asking
is
me to do.
breaking. Please write it down. Yes, your voice is breaking. Please write it down in chat section. I'm waiting for your query. Which part of the trial balance you are struggling with? Trial balance is, I guess you have practiced the ledgers too. I guess you have practiced the ledgers too. Trial balance is just the balance of ledgers. Okay, we just post the balance we get remain in the ledgers. We just post in the trial balance. If we have the debit balance, we post it into the debit account. Or if we have the credit balance of any ledger, then we will post it to the credit balance. And for that purpose I have shown to you guys a section where it is written that the all the receivings, all the profits is to be credited. Okay, all the expenses should be shown in the debit balance of the trial balance. So just go with that. Okay, read it down or try to practice some questions. You will get it there. Okay, you will get there. Any other question, or else we will conclude this class. Yes, I think the issue is posting in the ledger. That where I'm making mistake. But I believe with more practice I'll get. Okay, yeah, you will get there. Just try to remember what is the debit balance is or what a credit balance is. More the debit side of an ledger will show a debit balance only. More the credit side of any ledger will show a credit balance only. Okay, but on different side. You just need to focus on that. And before our session on Monday, I will I say to you guys that please practice the trial balance as well, because on Monday onwards we're gonna start our financial accounting. Okay, final accounts. So you need to get there. So okay, I am concluding this class. Thanks for cooperating. Bye bye. Till next class.
All right, bye, Ma. Thank you.
Just wait. Link you gave to download the material to my own site. It's request to use an email, but my email and password are not the same. I didn't give any link, I guess. I just shared a website with you guys, the eGAM course. It doesn't require any kind of password and all.
Okay, man. This one is because
Your voice is not.
my email and password, but it is
Your
when
voice is
I log
breaking.
in.
Your voice is breaking.
Okay,
I'm not audible. Okay, sorry. You're not audible to me correctly. Okay, your voice is breaking. If anyone in contact with that student, Abdul Ibrahim, they can share the material with them. If anyone is in contact with that student, please share the material or books with him. Kindly help him out.
to get this site.
Thank
Okay, I'm concluding the class now. Okay, bye
Okay.
bye.